Alright, hello, welcome back. This is episode 3 of our full playthrough of Hitman, and with fan theories. And let's go into the mission briefing.
Good afternoon, 47. Your destination is Marrakesh, Morocco, where civil riots are looming. Your targets are private banker Klaus Strandberg and Army General Reza Zaidan, two of the conspirators in a sinister plot to overthrow Morocco's fragile government. Strandberg, a former bank CEO who stole billions of dollars worth of savings from the Moroccan people, was facing trial for investment fraud. But early this morning, a band of heavily armed mercenaries freed Strandberg from his prison transport, resulting in the death of several police officers. Strandberg now takes refuge at his native Swedish consulate, in front of which crowds of angry protesters have gathered, demanding his handover to Moroccan authorities. We believe General Zaidan orchestrated Strandberg's escape to infuriate the public and spark nationwide riots, allowing Zaidan to impose martial law. Operating out of a field HQ at a nearby abandoned school, he will no doubt use the riots to depict the Rabat government as weak and inept, and persuade the general staff to support a fully fledged military coup in the name of national security. Our client, building contractor Hamilton Lowe, who stands to lose a fortune in government contracts, has hired us to prevent the coup d'etat. To do so, you need to paralyze Zaidan's rebel forces and prevent the riots from escalating further, hence the double contract. This is quite the political powder keg, 47, so be careful. The fate of a nation is at stake. I will leave you to prepare.
Alright, so we are there and ready to go. Once again, full disclosure, this is not my first playthrough of this, and as you can see, I have come here before. The problem I'm running into is, for what I want to do, it's simply taking too long for me to get to where I'm going, so I'm going to actually do a different starting location, which is undercover as a waiter in the Courtyard Club. And this hopefully will expedite things, and we'll be able to get onto it a lot quicker than me, running around trying to get it into where I'm going. Downside is we might miss, I believe we actually will miss Diana's opening comments to us as we enter the level. Basically what she says is the situation is escalating and it's very time sensitive. Essentially, yes, whatever you're going to do it quickly. So anyway, what we're going to talk about today is, at least fan theory wise, is the game Little Nightmares. Now, on the surface of it, there's no real similarity between the games. Oh, wait, let's see. Nope, no comments from Diana. So, on the surface of it, there's not very much. So, I am going to need to get to where that guy is. Okay, so my plan is to get, there's some people going in to do interview Klaus Strandberg. And in order to do that, but their cameraman has gotten sick, so
good evening, sir.
What they've had to do is hire another cameraman. That's this guy who's basically come right out and said, yeah, I took their money, I'm just gonna hang out here. So basically, I need to take his identity so I can become the cameraman. Anyway, Little Nightmares. On the surface of it, there's not too many similarities between these two games, and you should always try to connect things. So, sorry, I was just looking out there, see if anybody's gonna notice me poisoning it, but I don't think it much matters when it'll look like I'm just filling it up, so I'm gonna put some medic poison in here. Okay. And I don't think she smokes anything, does she? I think she just waits here. I think it's just that guy's gonna smoke things. So wait, where's the guy who can spot me? He's way over there. So I'm gonna rush into the bathroom. Okay.
Hey, you put those fresh green balls in the urinal?
Alright. Hopefully this guy won't give me a hard time, but every once in a while he'll give me a hard time. Nope, don't want to climb. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. So, like I said, on the surface there doesn't appear to be too many similarities. However, go beneath the surface. Little joke, since Little Nightmares take place beneath the surface. And you will see an exceptionally large amount of similarities. So, first off, the main characters. Now, they couldn't be more dissimilar. You've got a little girl with a full head of hair in a raincoat, and you've got...
You need help.
Okay, here he comes.
Go and find it.
And you've got a bald hitman. And, let's see... Nope, 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 I need to close the door. Okay, wait. Alright. Yep, that's always gross, but what can you do? Let's drag him, because I don't want anybody popping in. Alright, so we are well on our way. But if you look a little bit deeper, there's some really interesting similarities. First off, both characters are named after numbers. The little girl in Little Nightmares is 6, and of course, this guy here is Agent 47. They both have mysterious pasts. We don't really know too much about their pasts, or really anything at all. Yeah, so very interesting. And go a little deeper, the gameplay is surprisingly similar. First off, to avoid...
Hey, photo man.
Well, go ahead and do this. Let's talk to these guys.
Where have you been?
Sorry, streets aren't safe.
Yeah, I've already got the opportunity done, so I'm not going to reveal it. Anyway, like I said, the gameplay is surprisingly similar. In Hitman, interestingly enough, for an action game of this sort, the main goal is to avoid action. So, you avoid drawing attention to yourself, you avoid shootouts with people, otherwise it's pretty much suicidal. Same with Little Nightmares. I mean, if you're spotted, you get into a conflict with somebody, you're apt to wind up, stuffed into a fish and eaten. As grotesque as that sounds. So, that makes it... So that's kind of interesting. Also, they're both essentially problem-solving games. Hitman is the best way to accomplish your goals, to assassinate someone, and Little Nightmares is the best way to proceed in the level. So, there's enough of similarity that I can just come out and say there's similarities.
Okay, remember, technically, Stromberg has not been convicted of any crime, so we're not allowed to ask directly about the location of the cell. Just stick to the facts. I got it. Accusation, trial, Stromberg's dramatic breakout, get his side of the story.
Tyler, I got this.
Right. And you aim and shoot.
I always do. Alright, so. Yep. Reporters who smoke are just, I'm just saying. Alright, so there's the similarities, so let's talk about...
47.
Oh.
Now to locate Klaus Strandberg.
So,
Pam Kingsley.
let's talk about...
GNN News. My name is Pearson. Mr.
we called
Strandberg is ready for you.
Hey there, Mr.
Follow me,
Cameraman.
please.
I'm glad they identify me as a cameraman.
I must say I was surprised that Consul Olander authorized this interview. Adding fuel to the fire, I should think. But that is not my call. Nevertheless, you must understand that the building is on high alert. If the situation
Cameraman, how are
evolves, you will be evacuated without protest. Yes?
Well, let's just hope it doesn't come to that, Miss Pearson.
Right. So, moving along. Some of the interesting theories about Little Nightmares. And there are several. So,
Charmer.
we're going to start with the lady. The lady is the final villain in the level. And there are two relatively interesting theories.
What do you make of him, Strandberg?
I don't know. He seems nice.
Well, that was rude. Sheesh.
That is Klaus
Okay,
Strandberg,
let's go talk to Strandberg.
most wanted man in Morocco.
Aha! Capital, you made it. Come on
I
in.
did.
Come in, good. Pam Kingsley, a pleasure. I watch your show all the time. You're even more lovely in the flesh. And this is
Tyler Clark, producer. And this is our cameraman, Finley.
Tyler and Finley. Splendid.
Doesn't even look at me.
Let's do this, shall we? Where do you want me? The light is nice over here. Not that I want to tell you boys how to do your jobs, good heavens.
Well, right here is fine, Mr. Strandberg. Sit down, make yourself comfortable, and we'll be ready in no time.
Oh, no, please, please. Call me Klaus.
Okay, so we'll make ourselves comfortable. I'm heading over to the camera here. So...
Okay, I think we're set. Roll when you're ready.
This is
rolling.
Hey,
everything a cameraman does.
think you could do something about the lights?
Ah.
Upstairs somewhere? Thanks, bud.
Ah, lights. I shall go take care of the lights. Okay.
We're ready if you are.
So anyway, the
Access to
lady...
consulate and first
Wait.
row seats for the interview. Nicely done, 47.
You're welcome. I mean, thank you. One of the two. So the lady is interesting. What spread a lot of these theories is
search you, sir.
when you enter into the lady's chamber in the game, she has on her wall a picture of Six, the character you're playing. And this has led to a lot of widespread, sometimes rather bizarre theories. Let's see, is this where I want to go? Nope. I've gotten all turned around here. Ah, here we are. One is that the lady is Six's mother. And the villain you're facing is essentially, yeah, Six's mother. And the second theory is that the lady herself is Six. And this only makes you think everything is symbolic. Now, note the moose. I'm from Alaska, I note mooses.
$7 billion from...
Mark it down. Next up, Reza Zaydan.
Yep, most dignified way to go, I'm just saying. Death by moose. So, like I said, both these theories are interesting. The lady being her mother, you know, would... Yeah, it adds another level of drama to the game. And then the excuse me. It just makes it more intriguing. The idea of Six actually being the lady is even more interesting because that leads to a couple of the different theories. Now, one of these theories is that everything that's going on in the game only takes place within Six's mind. And in this case, everything that you see around her is a representation of literally what's happening in her life. So it's a childlike perception of all these things happening around her, and perhaps she's at an orphanage and is viewing the different characters in these different negative lights. I think that's an interesting idea. I don't fully agree with it, just because it just, at least for me, it doesn't quite work, because what is she fighting, what is she overcoming in it? It makes me wonder. That being said, I'm once again going to be a little bit lost here. Nope.
If you're gonna film me, only do my left side. I call it my Hollywood side.
So, yeah, it just doesn't quite play through in my mind, but I could be wrong. No. Darn it.
You brought her home once or twice.
Nope. I am so lost. I always get lost in this level. It's very confusing. Which is why I'm running. I'm trying to get found. So, I did a video a while back on my interpretation of what's going on in Little Nightmares. The content, what I'm talking about, is pretty interesting. However, I have the same problem every time I try to do a Little Nightmares game, is that I get so distracted by the game that I can't focus on what I'm saying, or I get distracted by what I'm saying and I can't focus on the game. So, oopsie. But, so, in my mind, one of the interpretations of the game
How's your father?
Doing well.
is...
Thanks for asking.
So, yeah, gonna head up to this guy. Don't want him to see me. So, my interpretation is that what's happening in the game is that it's all taking place within her mind, and what we're seeing is a child going through the 5 stages of grief. We have a body hanging in one of the earlier rooms at the beginning of the game. Just hanging like as if he'd committed suicide. And, okay, he's an unconscious witness. So, the guy's, yeah, like hanging as if he had committed suicide. And I think that could be symbolic of a traumatic event. And the rest of it is, yeah, sick is each level representing a different stage of grief, you know, starting with denial and going on from there.
General Zayden keeps coming down here to check on the prisoner. I hear they're close.
So I need to get... yeah. Sneaking past all these lovely guards. Oop, see? Very, very spottable. Okay, that guy's right there. I'm gonna use the key I just got. Anyway, her going through the stages of grief. And so, like I said, all symbolic.
You're in. Good work, 47. Now to locate General Zaydan.
Alright, it's getting all very scary. So I think the best place to put this guy is right over here by the door, because I don't think anybody comes through here very often, so... But he's less likely to get spotted that way. But yeah, it's the stages of grief, and it's all symbolic of what this little girl is going through. And that's kind of my interpretation of the entire game. And there's actually some good justification for thinking it's like this. Whoa. Okay, that guy can spot me.
No, but really. I mean, this whole man's man attitude. Deep, booming voice. Chest hair, right?
Okay.
Everyone knows Zayden is just another class fop. His dad was Secretary of State. This family's practically royalty. The only way this guy was not going to become general was if...
So these guys are bad-mouthing General Zaydan, and one of the things I'm turned on is the school's intercom, so everyone will hear them bad-mouthing Zaydan.
It's not like Zayden is even a lead from the foot kind of guy, you know? I mean,
Sneaking around there. Gonna hide over here and wait for Zaydan to show up. But like I said, it's all take place in her mind. The justification for this, the one thing that the video game designers say influenced this particular game was this idea, was the Pixar movie Inside Out, which has a little girl going through a traumatic incident and what's going on in her mind. Personifications of her mental process, essentially. And that's what I think is happening in the game. It's a personification of a little girl going through the 5 stages of grief.
That is General Reza Zaydan, keeper of the peace.
He's keeping the peace all right. Yeah, and I think that's, at least for me, I think that's my personal interpretation of what's going on in Little Nightmares. The thing about Little Nightmares is it's so bizarrely done that virtually any interpretation of it can be considered to be valid. And, you know, as long as you can justify the fan theory behind it, it works. Yeah, but it's very interesting. And just as an added little comment on this, one of the more popular fan theories, and is the "it was all a dream" one, and that's something that has been used several times.
Shame on you. I should have your own court-martial. Now get back to your...
Was that supposed to happen?
Both down. Now head towards an exit.
Okay. But yeah, it was all a dream. It was all a dream idea has been used several times in several games. And the thing about it, or several, not games per se, but in several TV shows, movies, and whatnot, that's actually a pretty popular thing to have done. I've only seen one, Twilight Zone like to do the "it was all a dream" or "was it" type thing. And, which exit should I use? I'm gonna actually go get the consulate car, use that exit. The problem with it, that it was all a dream in a lot of shows, is people use it as kind of a lazy interpretation of events, of things that are going on. So, for example... Okay, I need to get over here. Stupid crowd's hard to see through them. So, for example, if they've written themselves in, "Oh, it's okay, it was all just a dream." Let's see. Oh, I don't know if I can get to it. Okay. Wow. People are already almost spotting me. That is... wow. Just wow. Okay. So... let's go ahead. I'm gonna hide behind this. Alright, yeah. So, yeah, like I said, a lot of people do that. It was all a dream. Ah! Don't want to get spotted. I think I'm okay. As just a way out. They've written themselves into a corner and they can't do anything else, so they'll come back and say, "Oh, it's okay, it was all a dream." And it's, but sometimes, I've actually seen one show do that, and it was perfect, and it worked correctly. I'm not going to give away what show it was, because it was a really big surprise. That having been said, it's very popular in fan theories, it was all a dream. And just because, it's a very good, very easy general statement. Okay, let's watch the final cutscene.
Compromised? But I don't understand. There is no sign of forced entry, no alarms, nothing.
One of my people has gone missing in Johannesburg. A key bearer.
I wish I'd been informed. Still, the system demands 2 keys, and the rest are all accounted for.
Except for your late predecessors.
But his plane went down over the Pacific. It was an accident.
Such was the conclusion at the time. Yes. People die, Mr. Fannin. Happens all the time, even to us. It seems like a conspiracy. Probably isn't. And yet, the failed coup in Morocco, the ether virus. Someone knows about us. There was a pattern and I failed to see it. Providence is under attack.
How much was that?
Money? Not money, Mr. Fannin. Information on all of our assets and operatives. Like you. Dig a trench, Director. And make it a deep one. Because none of you are safe anymore.
More mysterious and scary. So yeah, anyway, the thing about, it was all a dream. What makes it so good is that it's very good for generally covering a lot of things. Darn it, I was spotted. Well, I was spotted by the, guy up on the roof, so that's my bad. So anyway, there we go. Let's see, It Was All a Dream covers a lot of things, and it's actually going to come back in a few more videos later on. We'll discuss that theory a little bit more in regards to a certain game. And yep, we will be back in Bangkok. I'm glad I remembered it this time. Last time I did a video, I could not remember what that level was called. And we're going to be looking at another independent game called Her Majesty's Spiffing. And I will see you then. Like and subscribe. Bye.